Welcome to the SQN Top 10 ranking. For the first time you join in the program, please subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment your opinion with everyone. Today, join us to learn about the top 10 strangest frog species in the world. Hope you will enjoy. Now, let's get started. Vietnamese green moss frog. A special frog species of Vietnam is also included in this list. That is the Vietnamese green moss frog. This frog has a green color and rough skin, so it is called the green mossy frog, whose English name is the Vietnamese mossy frog. This frog species is 8 to 9 centimeters long with external characteristics such as green skin, many nodules, black spots, and spines. Thanks to this characteristic, it is likened to a chameleon. Whenever it hides in grass with a similar color to its skin, it will avoid the pursuit of enemies. If you see her like this, you'll have to have very sharp eyes to recognize her. This frog species is recognized as an endemic amphibian of Vietnam, living in some northern jungles. Besides Vietnam, they have not been found in any other country. It has scientific and aesthetic value and is one of the strange and beautiful frog species. This is the only species of the Theliderma genus included in the Vietnam Red Book. The frog's body is 70 to 75 millimeters long for females, 60 to 70 millimeters for males. The skin is rough and grainy with patches of moss green mixed with earthy brown without a fixed shape, looking like a patch of moss. Large finger disc. Males do not have a vocal sac. Fingers have no webbing or only have small webbing between fingers 3 to 4. Toes are completely webbed. The eardrum is smaller than the diameter of the eye. The shape and color of moss frogs is a great way of camouflage, making them appear invisible when clinging to moss blocks, their favorite habitat. Currently, moss frogs are a strange pet species that is popular in the West. They reproduce quite well in artificial environments, so they have been successfully bred in many countries. However, in Vietnam, moss frogs are on the list of endangered animals that need to be protected in nature. Flashman's glass frog. Hyalinobatrachium fleischmanni, also known as Flashman's glass frog or the northern glass frog, is a species of frog in the family Centrolinidae. It is found in the tropical Americas from southern Mexico to Ecuador. Specifically, these frogs occur in Mexico, Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama, Colombia, and Ecuador. Notice that this and related species have often been confused with each other, and the exact distribution depends on the source. This frog tends to have green skin, pale yellowish spots, yellow fingertips and translucent skin covering its stomach. The specific name Fleischmanni honors Carl Fleischmann, a collector in Costa Rica in the 1890s. Fleischmanni are small and arboreal frogs that lives in lowland and mid-elevation forests of Central and South America. Glass frogs have similarities to tree frogs. They look very close to the naked eye except glass frogs' eyes point forward and are golden. During the day, these frogs camouflage themselves under leaves but above water. Male glass frogs are 19 to 28 millimeters long, while females measure from 23 to 32 millimeters long. Their skin has dots which matches that of the leaves in the area. When confronted or approached, they tend to freeze up and not move. They are carnivores and they eat small insects such as crickets, moths, flies, spiders, and even other smaller frogs. Flashmans glass frogs live near fast streams. And these frogs usually inhabit forests up to 2,000 meters above sea level in Central and South America. Argentine horned frog. The Argentine horned frog, Ceratophrys ornata, also known as the Argentine wide-mouthed frog or just the Pac-Man frog, is a species of frog in the family Ceratophryidae. The species is endemic to South America. It is the most common species of horned frog, in the grasslands of Argentina, Uruguay and Brazil. A voracious eater. It will attempt to swallow anything that moves close to its wide mouth, such as insects, rodents, lizards, and other frogs, even if this predator would suffocate in the process. It is also kept as an exotic pet. The nickname Pac-Man frog is a reference to the popular 1980s arcade game Pac-Man, where Pac-Man himself eats quite a lot and has a mouth that takes up most of its body, much like the Argentine horned frog. The females can grow to be 16.5 centimeters, 6.5 inches, snout to vent. SV, and the males 11.5 centimeters, 4.5 in SV. The average lifespan is 6 to 7 years, however they can live up to 10 years or more in captivity. A horned frog's most prominent feature is its mouth, which accounts for roughly half of the animal's overall size. Coloration is typically bright green with red markings, though dark green, party color black, and red with dark markings do exist. Sexing this species is very difficult before sexual maturity is reached. Dimorphism traits between the two sexes are size difference and males possessing dark pigmented throats and nuptial pads on the forelimbs. All horned frogs, species of the genus Ceratophrys, hunt by remaining motionless and waiting for prey. They will try to eat anything that can fit in their mouths and some things that can't. Poison dart frog. Poison dart frog is the common name of a group of frogs in the family Dendrobatidae which are native to tropical Central and South America. These species are diurnal and often have brightly colored bodies. This bright coloration is correlated with the toxicity of the species, making them aposematic. Some species of the family Dendrobatidae exhibit extremely bright coloration along with high toxicity, a feature derived from their diet of ants, mites and termites, while species which eat a much larger variety of prey have cryptic coloration with minimal to no amount of observed toxicity. Many species of this family are threatened due to human infrastructure encroaching on their habitats. These amphibians are often called dart frogs, due to the Aboriginal South Americans' use of their toxic secretions to poison the tips of blow darts. Most species of poison dart frogs are small, sometimes less than 1.5 centimeters, 0.59 in adult length, although a few grow up to 6 centimeters, 2.4 in length. They weigh 1 ounce. On average, most poison dart frogs are brightly colored, displaying aposematic patterns to warn potential predators. Their bright coloration is associated with their toxicity and levels of alkaloids. Poison dart frogs are an example of an aposematic organism. Their bright coloration advertises unpalatability to potential predators. Adult frogs lay their eggs in moist places, including on leaves, in plants, among exposed roots, and elsewhere. Once the eggs hatch, the adult piggybacks the tadpoles, one at a time, to suitable water, either a pool or the water gathered in the throat of bromeliads or other plants. Some poison dart frog species include a number of conspecific color morphs that emerged as recently as 6,000 years ago. The diet of Dendrobatidae is what gives them the alkaloids, toxins that are found in their skin. The diet that is responsible for these characteristics consists primarily of small and leaf-litter arthropods found in its general habitat, typically ants. The natural diet of an individual dendrobatid depends on its species and prey abundance in its location, amongst other factors. Clowntree frog. Dendropsophis syriacunsis, clowntree frog, is a species of frog in the family Hylidae. It is found in the Amazon basin in Bolivia, Brazil, Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, and, presumably, Colombia. Dendropsophis syriacunsis is common in parts of its range, Peru and Ecuador. It is nocturnal, arboreal frog inhabiting understory vegetation in primary and secondary tropical rainforest and forest edges. Eggs are laid out of water, whereas the tadpole develop in water. In temporary and permanent pools, clown frogs integrate very well with their surroundings and people. This species of frog reproduces more than other species. Depending on the environment, they can choose to breed on land or water. Or sometimes they also breed on the leaves of trees along rivers and lakes if there is shade there. This is the only vertebrate animal that can reproduce both in water and on land. Raising clown frogs does not require a large area, but must ensure there is room to climb. Furthermore, if you maintain the right humidity, it will give them beautiful colors. This is a great choice when you first want to explore amphibians. Food for clown frogs is small insects. This includes crickets, worms, cockroaches or bugs. Supplement calcium and vitamins and minerals every week. Place food in a small, fixed bowl and the frogs will find it there. Goliath frog. The Goliath frog, Conraua goliath, otherwise known commonly as the giant slippery frog and the Goliath bullfrog, is a species of frog in the family Conrauidae. The Goliath frog is the largest living frog. Specimens can grow up to 32 centimeters, 12.6 in length from snout to vent, and weigh up to 3.25 kilograms, 7.2 pounds. This species has a relatively small habitat range in Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea. Its numbers are dwindling due to habitat destruction, collection for food, and the pet trade. Sexual dimorphism between the sexes is minimal. In a sample of 15 individuals, weights ranged between 600 and 3,250 grams, 1.3 and 7.2 pounds. And snout vent lengths were between 17 and 32 centimeters, 6.7 and 12.6 Their eyes can be nearly 2.5 centimeters, 1.0 in diameter. The conspicuous tympanum has a diameter around 0.5 centimeters, 0.20 and is separated from the eye by about 5 centimeters, 2.0 in adults. Goliath frog eggs and tadpoles are about the same size as other frogs despite their very large adult form. A lateral fold extends from the eye to the posterior portion of the tympanum. Their toes are fully webbed, with large interdigital membranes extending down to the toe tips. The second toe is the longest. The Goliath frog is mainly found near waterfalls in Equatorial Guinea and Cameroon. Their habitat is divided into two main seasons. The dry season, which occurs from November to April, and the rainy season, which occurs from May to October. The primary threat to the Goliath frog is hunting, as it is considered a food source in its native range. It was determined in a study that the Goliath frog consumes a wide variety of food, suggesting that the frog is omnivorous with a carnivorous preference. Their prey are terrestrial, aquatic, and semi-aquatic, indicating that they hunt both on land and in water. Food preferences were different among the different weight groups of frogs, possibly correlating to different stages of development. The Goliath frog can live up to 15 years in the wild and up to 21 years in captivity. It is preyed upon by snakes, Nile crocodiles, Nile monitors, and humans, among other predators. Indian bullfrog. A large frog found in Myanmar, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal and Afghanistan is the Indian bullfrog or Indian frog. This frog species has unique characteristics. During the mating season, males often have two sky blue air sacs under their mouths that look both special and very eye-catching. Their cries also sound very special. This species of frog often turns golden yellow when mating. That's only for the males, and the females have orange with black spots on their backs. Indian frogs are found in Myanmar and Bangladesh, but their most preferred habitat is in India. They live in holes in the ground or in thick bushes near lakes or lagoons. This frog is not only famous for its impressive size, but it is also a frog with many beautiful and diverse colors. Some have their entire bodies yellow, blue, or olive, but some have many colors mixed together very colorfully. They eat everything on the road from insects, small mammals to small birds, and even poisonous snakes. Their feet are completely covered with a membrane so they can easily jump on water like they can on land. The breeding season of Indian frogs is during the rainy season of the year. Male frogs don't bother waiting for the female frog to prepare, they just carry out the necessary work of the mating season. According to Kaswan, these are Indian bullfrogs, and during the breeding season, males will change their skin color to attract the attention of females. Look at how they enjoy the rain. Amazon milk frog. The Amazon milk frog is a large, tree-dwelling native frog in the Amazon rainforest of South America. Their English name is the Amazon blue milk frog. Sometimes people also call them blue milk frogs, and the first time people discovered this frog species was along the Maracana River in Brazil. This frog has a light blue inner palate that looks very eye-catching. The Amazon milk frog is a large rainforest frog named for the milky white poison it secretes when stressed. Its other name is Mission yellow-eyed tree frog, because of the black cross inside its yellow eyes. Until recently, it was classified in the genus Phrynohyas. The Amazon milk frog is a relatively large frog, reaching lengths of 2.5 to 4.0 inches. Adult females are larger than males. Adult frogs are pale green-gray, with black or brown bands. The frog's mouth and toes are blue. The eyes are yellow with distinctive black diagonal markings. Young Amazon milk frogs have darker fur than adults. As the frog ages, its skin becomes rough and mottled. Milk frogs live in the canopy of tropical forests, often near slow-moving water. The frogs stay in the trees, rarely descending to the forest floor. They live in northern South America and are widely distributed in Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana and Peru. They also occur in Venezuela, Trinidad, Tobago and other islands off the coast of South America. The Amazon milk frog is a nocturnal carnivore. They primarily eat insects, spiders, and other small arthropods, but will take any prey small enough to fit in their mouths. Adult females in captivity have been known to eat smaller males. Tadpoles eat eggs of their own species. The milk secreted by disturbed frogs is gelatinous, has a foul smell and is toxic. Although tadpoles can be eaten by a variety of predators, including other frogs, adults face few threats. Frogs mate during the rainy season, which can occur anywhere from May to November. The lifespan of wild Amazon milk frogs is unknown, but they typically live about 8 years in captivity. Purple frog. The purple frog, Nasicobotrachus sayadrensis, Indian purple frog, or pignose frog is a frog species of the genus Nasicobotrachus. It is endemic to the Western Ghats in India. Although the adult frog was formally described in October 2003, the juvenile form of the species was described earlier in 1917. The body of Nasicobotrachus sayadrensis appears robust and bloated and is relatively rounded compared to other more dorsoventrally flattened frogs. Their flattened body assists them to cling to submerged rocks and boulders, which essentially helps them fight strong currents, allowing them to remain near stream banks where they typically reside. Its arms and legs splay out in the standard onuron body form. Compared to other frogs, N. sayadrensis has a small head and an unusual pointed snout. Adults are typically dark purplish-gray in color. Males are about a third of the length of females. The species is now known to be quite widely distributed in the Western Ghats, ranging from the Camel's Hump Hill Range in the north, all the way to the northernmost portions of the Agastyamalai Hill Range in the south. The Indian purple frog is one of the many discovered frogs that have evolved over time, allowing it to easily adapt to its underground environment. The frog spends most of its life underground and surfaces only during the monsoon, for a period of 2 weeks. For mating, unlike many other burrowing species of frogs that emerge and feed above the ground, this species has been found to forage underground, feeding mainly on termites using its tongue and a special buccal groove. The major threat to these amphibians in the Western Ghats of India is caused by the alteration of natural habitats by an ever-increasing human population, resulting in large areas being converted for settlement and agricultural use. Recent studies have shown frog utilization to be one of the major threats, which include the utilization of frogs for food, traditional medicine such as a cure for burns, asthma, and other lung ailments, research purposes, and pet trade has also been considered a major contributor to their decline. Tadpole harvesting was prevalent in the monsoon season during July to September every year. Turtle frog. Myobatrachus, turtle frog, is a genus of frogs found in Western Australia. It is monotypic, being represented by the single species. It gets its name from the resemblance to a shell-less chelonian, which is a type of turtle. It is described to have an extremely small narrow head, short limbs, and a round body. They can get up to 45 millimeters, 1.8 in, long. Anatomy studies of this species say that it has an incredibly large pectoral girdle for its size. Due to its unusual morphology, the features of this creature have been guided to old lineage dating back to the early Tertiary or late Mesozoic era. The turtle frog can be found in between Geraldton and Fitzgerald River in the Perth region. In southwestern Australia, mating behavior begins with the male frog calling. Calling and pairing occur primarily in the late spring. When a pair of turtle frogs select each other as mates, they retire to the base of their burrow and remain underground with their mate over the summer. The egg deposit does not occur until late summer or early autumn. Burrows may be as much as 1.3 meters, 4 ft3 in, deep. Breeding takes place within the burrow several months later. When the females lay eggs, they lay up to 50, and each can measure 7.5 millimeters, 0.30 in diameter. The eggs undergo direct development inside the egg capsule. The unique physical traits of the Arenaphron and Myobatrachus share similar albumins, suggesting that they share an evolutionary ancestor. Thank you for watching the SQN Top 10 ranking program. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like, and share this program for many people to know. See you again in next video. Thank you very much.